Tallahassee, Big Bend area football fans, and also the Panhandle and Panama City. Welcome to a brand new edition of the 2023 football season and also a brand new edition of the Extra Point. I'm Mark Adams and I'm here with my tag team partner, Coach Cofield. It's been a long summer. We were plenty busy. I mean, we were like ripping up and down the road. We've been to the Panama City Beach area, back through the Panhandle, and of course our home base, Tallahassee. And it's just been a really, really nice, enjoyable summer. I had a chance to kind of spend some time with the family in the off season, and now it's time for football. I missed it. I missed it terribly.
Yeah, this is I can't even count the seasons I started off with football, and I'm excited being here and be especially with all the new things we got going on. I guess we'll talk about that later in the year. And it's exciting. I love high school football, and I'm ready to get started.
Yeah, it's been a weird kind of football offseason at the professional level. I never thought I'd see so many unemployed running backs. It's just weird. It's just, watching Dalvin Cook.
It's the most important position on the field. Hey, when we got to lead,
of course you would say that.
You want to run the football.
I tell me you were a running back without telling me you were a running back.
Give me the ball. Every other down. And, when you coach football, Mark, you find out that, I've coached at high school and some semi-pro stuff. And I always found that the receivers are the divas and the running backs are the workhorses. They just line up and get it after, and everybody the fans love passing. They love the ball in the air. But hey,
you can't be mad. I mean, I sat there and I watched Pat Mahomes with my son and my nephew and some other family members. We watched the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts, all these new crop of quarterbacks. They're just fun to watch. It's like I liken it to what you see in the NBA with Steph Curry. Being able to shoot the three from wherever, him and Dame pulling up from half court, it's just entertaining. Watching Pat Mahomes like shake off like 4 or 5 guys, still hit the open man down the field. It's just entertaining. But running backs, have fallen off to the wayside. And it's just as much as I like the entertainment value of passing the football, I can't stomach the fact that we don't, it's just so I have so many questions from an offensive kind of mindset of like, how do you control the clock and when it gets down to crunch time? What are you doing? So
that's the problem. When you get a lead and it's crunch time, you want to be able to run the football. They specialize every other position. Why they can't specialize a running back? Pay them enough money.
True. That's very true.
They can close the game out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but man, I've never been more excited for college football though. Rattlers poised for a big season. Coach Norvell over at Florida State poised for a big season. It's looking like it has kind of that 2013 vibe again. Florida State it feels like 1998, 99 over at FAMU again. It's big things are popping. I'm excited. I'm almost at a point now where I got to coordinate my schedule to see which games I need to go see in person. When you start the season off with the kind of big games, FAMU looking to get revenge against Jackson State, and then Florida State trying to get really a huge matchup with LSU. I'm excited. This is going to be a really, really, really good season. I'm more so looking at just kind of playoff implications and title hopes. Like there's nothing like the start of a good college football season, especially when you got a good solid team.
Well, Mark, it won't be quite the same when FAMU beat Jackson State because Dion is gone. I just wanted to beat him one time while he was there. Man, I'm really looking forward to Florida State season. I think they might be one of the most exciting football programs in the whole country. I mean,
the hype feels real. It just feels real, and something about football season. It's not like anything else. And when you're in a small kind of region, this North Florida region, and you got, FAMU and FSU just kind of right there, it just, the whole city feels electric. The whole region feels electric. Everybody's excited. They're, when you're losing, it's not the same. Or you got an average football team, you're going 6-6, or you're going 5-5. It don't feel the same. But when you got dudes and you got some ballers over there, like it gives kind of a sense of like, okay, wait a minute, this looks right. This looks right. So we'll
Mark,
see.
the most exciting thing was FSU talking about leaving the ACC. That was, headed to either the Big Ten. I think they have a legitimate gripe. They have a legitimate,
absolutely.
Because they're bringing in more money than in a lot of the teams, and again the exact same thing, which is not fair.
FSU has probably I think they have, if I remember the article correctly, it was in the Wall Street Journal. I think FSU has one of the top 5 brands in college football. Like they literally generate that much money. And it's just something about the gold helmets with the spear. You can say what you want to, but that puts eyeballs on a lot of things that FSU does. And then when you look at, you got a dynamite women's sports program, you see what the softball team is doing, you see what the women's soccer team does. Looking at how that just bolsters your whole athletics department, they definitely have a huge gripe. I just think as much as Tallahassee feels like SEC country, FSU's path to a national championship probably run through the Big 10 or Big 12.
Wow, not the Big 12, but the Big 10. I think I love to see Michigan, Ohio State rolling through Tallahassee. That might be exciting.
I wouldn't be surprised. FSU they're in a holding pattern. Everybody knows they want to leave, and they're kind of in a position where they can just wait on the offer they want.
Well, wouldn't you rather see Alabama, Georgia?
I would. I'm a fan. I
Texas A&M.
Hey, definitely.
Can you imagine Jimbo coming
back?
I
also want to see FSU play Colorado. I also wouldn't mind seeing FSU play Michigan. So, hey, it's the perfect position for Florida State to be in. And if this year could end on a high note, it would be FAMU playing in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta and Florida State making the college football playoff. That's like my Christmas wish list.
Football heaven in Tallahassee.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk about what we talk about and what we do best. Let's get into this high school football action. This is what everybody came to see. We just had to get, we had to get some other stuff out of the way first. But, Coach, we got kickoff classics and preseason games abound all across the North Florida region. Let's go ahead and jump into it. On Thursday night, FAMU taking on Cottondale. They'll head out to the Panhandle. Baby Rattlers opening up the season. And they'll be looking to kind of right the ship from last year. And then also Florida High taking on Childs on the north side of town. And, man, Coach Hickman and his guys are hungry. They're ready to get back into action. And more importantly, they want to make it back to the state championship game. They've made no bones about it. I had a chance to talk to them at Media Day. And, these guys they've got revenge all over their lockers and everything. They want to make it back to the ship and hold up the trophy at the end of the year. So it starts on Thursday night with 2 preseason games. And then we move into Friday night action. Godby, brand new turf field. Got to shout that out. Showing some love to Coach Jones over there. They finally got the turf laid out, and it looks good. I drove by Tharp Street. I had to slow down a little bit, take a look at it, but they'll be hosting Reigns, and that's just, man, that's going to be a really good matchup for the Cougars to be able to figure themselves out. Coach Jones taking on his alma mater. Those are always good games to see. So Godby will be opening up the season at home on their own brand new turf field. And then Mosley hooking up against Lincoln. That's going to be a good matchup. As Lincoln, man, they are loaded, absolutely loaded. Trojans have talent both sides of the ball and in special teams. This is going to be a great tune-up session for them. And then let's run through some other games. Madison visiting Wakulla, Mariana visiting Sneads, Holmes County visiting Bluntstown, Walton County hosting Fort Walton Beach. Niceville hosting Bay. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Bay put together a very good season, kind of shocked some people, but we know Coach Brown. We know he's a program builder. That's going to be a chance for his team to get battle tested early. And then Franklin County, a good friend of ours, Coach Cooper, he'll be showcasing his team off for the first time this season against St. Francis. And so a lot of teams going to be able to kind of put some stuff together, really find out who their playmakers are. Preseason games are a really good litmus test.
Yeah, you want to do. You don't want to show too much. You got a lot of stuff. You got, you're going to hold back. You want to be kind of basic, but you want to find out what your kids are. Who can I depend on during the regular season?
Right, exactly. Then we got a jamboree, big jamboree, Jefferson County, Wewa, Hitchcock, and Liberty. That's actually a pretty interesting matchup. I'm definitely interested to see what Jefferson County, Coach Footman, what he's got going on over there in Monticello. Liberty County, they're trying to revamp their program. And so a lot of schools are going to get a chance to really kind of put a lot of playmakers on the field. Preseason jamborees are just a lot of fun. You just kind of take a quarter, get a breather, go back in, put your defense out there, run a number of plays, and just go ball. Fullerton Academy will be taking on Osceola. That's a great environment just to see football, period. The Warriors will look to open up their campaign on Friday. And then McClay traveling out down I-10. They'll be taking on Chipley. Some other preseason games. Columbia hooking up against Swanee. That should be illegal. That's got to be a regular season game. You can't do that in the preseason. That's a historic matchup.
Yeah, it used to be a regular season game. I don't know. I guess maybe they couldn't fit each other in with the schedule changes.
Yeah, we gotta make room for some big rivalries. It's just a crime to see it taking place in the preseason. That's just such a historic matchup. But Coach Hall and the Swanee Bulldogs taking on Columbia, that's going to be definitely entertaining. Then Taylor County taking on Williston. They'll be traveling down I-10 to take on Williston. And then we got Hawthorne. They'll be coming into the capital city to take on North Florida Christian. North Florida Christian has a very good, solid group of returners there that'll be coming back. And that's going to be another interesting matchup for the Eagles as they open up the season. Newberry taking on Lafayette Mayo. And Lafayette, another one of those quiet as kept secrets with what they were able to do last season. It's going to be very interesting who they bring back and how they start performing. So a lot of smaller schools, you got to keep an eye on them. It's not all about the larger schools. A lot of great football played at the 1A level. We talked about it at Media Day, and it's very fiercely competitive. And a lot of these guys are going to see each other again in the regular season.
Yeah, Mark. As you know, I coached at a smaller school. Very, very exciting. It means just as much to us as the big guys, and people enjoy. Our fans enjoyed our game. We enjoyed it. It's very competitive, and I think some of these smaller schools, they get a chance to showcase, and they hope to make it to the final dance like everybody else.
And then we've got another big jamboree out in Bay County. We've got Bozeman, Vernon, and Arnold linking up, and that'll be exciting. We had a chance to talk to Vernon out at Panama City Media Day, and this is coach. You know head coach over at Vernon. You guys go back quite a bit. He's another program builder, putting together a very good roster. He's bounced around a little bit and seems to have found a home back at home. And I'm interested to see what Vernon's going to look like this season. We also talked to Bozeman too. They return a lot of guys too, and they're going to be pretty deep this year. Then back in the capital city, Ricker's taking on Leon, and then we've got Port St. Joe traveling out to North Bay Haven, Rutherford taking on Graceville, and then rounding out the preseason games in our area will be Destin traveling back this way to take on the Monroe Bobcats, and that's going to be your slate for this week. And Coach, I just encourage everybody, just go to a game, find something, go out there, pay your money, go see some great football.
Yeah, get some popcorn and have a good time.
Well, Coach, I'm looking forward to this season. We're going to be wrapping up the preseason games in our next episode of our podcast, but this is the Extra Point, and we'll catch everybody next week. But until then, I'm Mark Adams for Four Quarters Online, and with my tag team partner, Coach Cofield. We will catch everybody next week.